Donald O'Connor remains one of the brightest lights of Hollywood's golden age, a performer whose energy, humor, and sheer physical talent turned every appearance into a moment of joy. Audiences remember him for his dazzling dance numbers, impeccable comedic timing, and a warm, mischievous charm that felt both larger than life and intimately human. Yet behind the iconic roles and breathtaking performances lay a man who valued friendship and genuine connection. Among the many stars who crossed his path, few inspired his lasting admiration quite like Debbie Reynolds, his co-star in the legendary musical Singin' in the Rain. O'Connor often spoke candidly about Reynolds with a mix of professional respect and personal affection, offering a rare glimpse into a Hollywood friendship built on hard work and mutual admiration. Donald David Dixon O'Connor was born on August 28, 1925, in Chicago, Illinois, into a family for whom the stage was as familiar as the kitchen table. His parents were seasoned vaudevillians, traveling from city to city with their act, and little Donald grew up surrounded by the sights and sounds of constant performance. The smell of grease paint and the echo of applause were part of his earliest memories. From the start, the rhythm of music and the discipline of rehearsals shaped his world. Tragedy, however, struck early. Several of Donald's siblings died young, a heartbreaking reality that might have discouraged a more fragile spirit. Instead, these losses seemed to fuel his determination and resilience. Even as a child, he displayed a boundless energy that relatives and fellow performers quickly recognized. The constant travel of vaudeville life meant that Donald's classroom was often the backstage of theaters or the inside of a train car. But those experiences became a different kind of education, one that taught adaptability, quick thinking, and an intuitive sense of how to captivate an audience. By the time most children were learning their multiplication tables, O'Connor was already rehearsing dance steps and comedic routines that would later dazzle moviegoers around the world. At just 11 years old, O'Connor appeared in his first film, marking the beginning of a career that would span decades. The 1930s and 1940s were a fertile period for young Donald, who quickly became one of Universal Studios' most dependable performers. His combination of youthful charm and natural charisma made him a favorite for roles that required a bright, energetic presence. Often cast as the lively sidekick, O'Connor shared the screen with stars such as Bing Crosby and Peggy Ryan. In a series of musical comedies, including those paired with Gloria Jean and Peggy Ryan, he displayed a quick-footed dance style and sparkling comedic timing that audiences adored. These early roles were more than stepping stones. They revealed a performer with a rare ability to balance boyish good looks with a professional's discipline. Unlike many child actors who struggled to mature into adult roles, O'Connor transitioned smoothly. Thanks to his versatile talent and easygoing personality, the 1950s marked the height of Donald O'Connor's fame. His unforgettable turn in Singin' in the Rain, 1952, remains a pinnacle of musical cinema. Acting opposite Gene Kelly and a young Debbie Reynolds, O'Connor delivered a performance that combined precision, humor, and breathtaking athleticism. The number "Make 'em Laugh" became legendary, a whirlwind of flips, pratfalls, and physical comedy so demanding that O'Connor reportedly needed several days of bed rest afterward to recover. Audiences were mesmerized. Critics hailed his genius for physical comedy, comparing him to silent-era greats like Buster Keaton. Yet beyond the dazzling stunts, O'Connor brought warmth and wit, embodying the spirit of a golden Hollywood musical. Singin' in the Rain did more than showcase his skill. It cemented his place in cinematic history. Throughout the decade, he continued to headline major musicals, each performance reinforcing his reputation as one of the era's most dynamic entertainers. While musicals made him famous, O'Connor refused to be confined to a single genre. He demonstrated remarkable versatility, taking on the role of Peter Sterling in the hugely popular Francis the Talking Mule series. Playing opposite a wisecracking mule might have seemed like a career risk, but audiences loved the blend of gentle comedy and lighthearted adventure. O'Connor later admitted to mixed feelings about being so strongly associated with the series, yet there was no denying its success. His ability to pivot from slapstick humor to tender musical moments set him apart from many contemporaries. Whether delivering a perfectly timed punchline or performing a heartfelt ballad, O'Connor had a gift for making every scene feel natural and alive. As Hollywood's studio system evolved, O'Connor seamlessly expanded into television and stage. He headlined The Donald O'Connor Show in the 1950s, bringing his infectious charm into living rooms across America. He became a beloved guest on countless variety programs, talk shows, and comedy specials. Beyond the small screen, O'Connor thrilled audiences in Las Vegas and on Broadway, demonstrating that his appeal reached far beyond film. His dynamic stage presence and impeccable timing earned him a Primetime Emmy Award in 1954 for Best Male Star of a Regular Series. That same year, he hosted the Academy Awards, further proving his adaptability and charisma. International tours introduced his talents to audiences around the world, confirming that O'Connor was not just a movie star, but a consummate entertainer. Even as the era of grand Hollywood musicals waned, O'Connor's career endured. He appeared on television regularly and returned to film in projects such as Out to Sea, 1997, sharing the screen with legends Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. His comic timing and likability never faded, delighting both longtime fans and a younger generation. Throughout these later years, O'Connor received numerous Lifetime Achievement Awards and invitations to reflect on his remarkable career. In 2003, just a year before his passing, the American Film Institute honored him with a Career Achievement Award, a fitting tribute to decades of unforgettable performances. His influence can still be seen in performers who blend music, dance, and comedy with effortless grace. Donald O'Connor's personal life was as eventful as his professional one. He married twice, each relationship representing a distinct chapter of his journey. In 1944, at just 18, he wed Gwendolyn Carter in a romantic ceremony in Tijuana, Mexico. The couple soon welcomed their daughter Donna, and O'Connor embraced fatherhood even as his career demanded long hours and constant travel. After 10 years, the pressures of show business and personal differences led to their divorce in 1954. 2 years later, O'Connor found lasting love with actress Gloria Noble. They married on October 11, 1956, beginning a partnership that would span nearly half a century. Together, they raised 3 more children, Alice, Fred, and Kevin, building a home in Thousand Oaks, California. Unlike his first marriage, Donald's union with Gloria was marked by stability and deep affection. Through career highs, health challenges, and the ever-changing entertainment landscape, Gloria remained a steadfast source of support. Friends and colleagues often remarked on the warmth of their household and the quiet devotion they shared. Fatherhood remained central to O'Connor's identity. Despite his busy schedule, he made time for his children, encouraging their pursuits and celebrating their achievements. In interviews, he spoke of his family with pride, acknowledging that the love and grounding they provided were his greatest blessings. Among the many relationships Donald O'Connor formed in Hollywood, his bond with Debbie Reynolds stood out. When he passed away in 2003, audiences around the world mourned not only a brilliant entertainer, but also a warm, generous soul. Donald O'Connor left behind more than unforgettable performances. He left a legacy of joy, reminding us that true artistry lies in touching hearts as much as dazzling eyes. Donald O'Connor's artistry reached far beyond the audiences who first watched his films in the 1950s. Modern dancers, comedians, and musical performers frequently cite his seamless blend of movement and humor as a source of inspiration. Broadway choreographers have pointed to his Make 'em Laugh routine as a master class in physical comedy and timing, while film historians credit him with bridging the gap between silent-era slapstick and the modern musical. Contemporary entertainers such as Hugh Jackman and Neil Patrick Harris have referenced O'Connor's ability to sing, dance, and act with equal ease when discussing their own ambitions in musical theater and film. His work continues to be shown in film schools and dance academies, ensuring that new generations study the precision and charisma that defined his career. Though O'Connor often presented a polished public image, friends and colleagues delighted in sharing lighthearted stories that revealed his playful spirit. Crew members from Singin in the Rain remembered his quick improvisations during long rehearsals, moments when he would suddenly invent a new gag or slip in a surprising dance flourish, leaving everyone laughing. One famous anecdote recounts how, after nailing an especially difficult flip during the Make 'em Laugh sequence, he immediately turned to the cameraman and joked, "Hope you got that. I'm not sure I can do it again." The room erupted. But of course he did it again, perfectly. Other colleagues recalled his generosity with newcomers, offering quiet advice to young performers nervous about their first big roles. These behind-the-scenes glimpses show a professional who not only loved his craft, but also cared deeply for the people who helped bring each production to life. Outside of entertainment, O'Connor devoted time to charitable work, often lending his name and talents to fundraisers for children's hospitals and performing arts programs. He believed strongly in nurturing creativity in the next generation, speaking at schools and community theaters about the joy and discipline of performance. He also nurtured personal hobbies that offered balance to his public life. Friends noted his love of classic literature and his habit of playing piano late into the night, sometimes composing small melodies that he never intended for public ears. These quiet pursuits reflected a man who, despite fame, remained grounded and introspective. 2 decades after his passing, Donald O'Connor's influence continues to resonate. Film festivals frequently host special screenings of Singin in the Rain, inviting audiences to rediscover his unmatched athleticism and comedic brilliance on the big screen. Collectors cherish memorabilia from his films, while streaming services have introduced his work to viewers far removed from the Golden Age studios. Social media tributes each year on his birthday speak to the affection still held for him worldwide. Museums and archives, including the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, feature exhibits celebrating his contributions, ensuring his place in cinematic history remains vivid and accessible. Throughout his long career, Donald O'Connor quietly mentored younger entertainers who were just finding their footing in the demanding world of show business. Colleagues have recalled how he offered guidance on everything from dance techniques to handling the pressures of fame. He believed that sharing knowledge kept the art form alive and often reminded newcomers to protect the joy of performing, even when schedules became exhausting. Several dancers who later found Broadway success credit O'Connor with teaching them the importance of precision, patience, and good humor on set. His willingness to help without seeking attention highlighted a generosity of spirit that matched his remarkable talent. In the decades after O'Connor's peak, film historians began to re-examine his body of work with fresh eyes. Scholarly articles and retrospectives emphasize how his comedic athleticism bridged the gap between silent-era physical comedy and mid-century musicals. Critics note that while Gene Kelly brought muscular elegance and Fred Astaire offered refined grace, O'Connor delivered a buoyant, kinetic energy uniquely his own. Restoration projects and high-definition releases of Singin in the Rain and the Francis films have introduced his craft to new audiences, sparking renewed critical appreciation. This reappraisal confirms that O'Connor was not merely a supporting player in Hollywood history, but a pivotal figure in the evolution of American musical cinema. In interviews late in life, O'Connor often spoke candidly about the mixed blessings of fame. He described the excitement of sold-out shows and glowing reviews, but also the fatigue of constant travel and the pressure to maintain an almost superhuman level of energy. "The applause is wonderful," he once said, "but it's the quiet moments with family that stay with you." These reflections revealed a man who had learned to balance public adoration with private contentment. Far from being disillusioned, he remained grateful for a career that allowed him to bring laughter to millions while still cherishing the simple joys of home. O'Connor's influence extends into contemporary music and dance culture. Elements of his dynamic style can be seen in modern tap performances, hip-hop choreography, and even the acrobatic sequences of today's music videos. Dance troupes often recreate the Make 'em Laugh routine as a tribute, blending it with contemporary moves to show its timeless appeal. Musicians and choreographers cite his rhythm and comic timing as inspirations for staging concerts and theatrical productions. By combining daring physical feats with an approachable charm, O'Connor left a template for entertainers who aim to merge technical brilliance with sheer fun. Even after his passing in 2003, Donald O'Connor's remarkable career has continued to receive recognition from the entertainment world. Film festivals across the United States and Europe regularly feature dedicated screenings of Singin' in the Rain.